Hurstfest. Well, 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 my dear detectives of the weird and wonderful, today I'm going to tell you about Hurstfest, proudly presented by Just Hurstin' Around and Dead Sled. Let me tell you, folks, this isn't your average car show. This is a car show of the damned, a parade of the dead, a gathering of souls, ghouls, and ghosts on wheels. Organizers of Hurstfest pride themselves on creating a very open-minded and family-friendly environment. This is an all-ages event. It's the kickoff to everyone's favorite time of year, Halloween. And get this, the price of admission is only $2 per adult. If you're 15 years of age or younger, it's absolutely free. That's right, folks, just for a few dollars, your whole family can have a spectacular day. People come from all over the country to have the experience of Hurstfest. They'll get nowhere else. With events like the Pine Box Derby for adults and children, and a costume contest for all ages. You can find something for every little monster in your family at Hurstfest. They have over 100 vendors, which will be selling everything from spiritual and paranormal items to creepy crafts and collector's items and Hearst supplies and parts. And anything Hearst related. It's a treasure trove of the weird and the wonderful. And if you like camping like me, there is plenty of nearby campgrounds where you can put up your tent and enjoy the eerie beauty of Michigan's great outdoors. And if that's not enough to get you to Hurstfest, they are the largest annual gathering of funeral hearses in the country. And this year, they're even attempting to break the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest parade of hearses. Now that's what I call a hearse parade, where the only traffic jam is a ghostly one. You guys don't miss this.
Step right up, step right up.
And now my favorite segment, Ask a Clown. How do you personally cope with the heavy and often disturbing content you cover?
This is actually a great question. Coping with the dark stuff? Well, I am human after all. I mean, picture me looking into a day full of grisly details and traumatic things that will probably scar me. I unwind by maybe juggling rubber chickens, and I blast music. We take hikes. There's nothing more relaxing than taking a hike with Bob. We find a lot of things to distract us from the sad things that we talk about in true crime. And when things get really, really intense, I like to prank people. I've been known for sending emails to other true crime creators, acting like I'm some kind of clown detective investigating a pie assault. I've done it more than a few times. I know that some other true crime creators get really stressed too, so we all like a good laugh. So I handle the heavy stuff with humor, music, and a good dose of mischief or a hike or two with my amazing boyfriend. Keeps me sane in this crazy world of true crime.
Have you ever received threats or faced backlash because of your unique approach to true crime?
Oh boy, have I ever been threatened. Imagine this. It's a dark and stormy night. I'm in my office and I'm surrounded by case files and rubber chickens, water squirting flowers, when suddenly I get an ominous email. The subject line reads, "Your last laugh." I open it and bam! It's a threat from someone named the Pie Assassin. They tell me if I keep digging into their pastry-related crimes, I'm going to end up the main ingredient in the clown pie. But it gets better or worse depending on how you look at it. It's a few days later, right? And I find a cream pie on my doorstep. The note says, "Next time, it won't be so sweet." Talk about raising the stakes. Now, every time I hear a knock on my door, I brace myself, expecting a pie in the face. My rubber chickens have become my bodyguards, and I've even considered wearing a helmet. But hey, you can't let a few pastry threats keep you from reporting true crime. Can't stop you from uncovering what's right. You just gotta stay one step ahead of the Pie Assassin. Right, Red Rum Crew? And keep my nose red and curious, I assume. So yes, every threat I get, I read very clearly, but you gotta laugh in the face of danger. It may be just the only thing you can do.
Do you believe in any of the supernatural elements or conspiracy theories related to cases you cover?
Yes, as silly as it may seem, guys, I think some conspiracy theories are classified as such just to keep us from sniffing out the real truth. But hey, I don't buy into all of them. I've got my clown feet planted firmly on the ground. That said, though, there are a couple conspiracy theories that I've had a very hard time dismissing. The Mandela effect, for one. Are we all just misremembering, or someone messing with our timeline? And don't even get me started on simulation theory. Sometimes it feels like we're all just characters in a cosmic video game and someone out there is having a laugh at our expense. So while I'm juggling the truth and making you guys laugh, I do keep one squinty eye open for those glitches in reality. You never know what might be lurking behind the curtain.
Hi, I'm Mariko Takahashi. Can you guess who this is? Yes, it's me. You can't believe it, huh? Thanks. But what I want to say here is hope. That anyone could do it. But the point is not only to lose weight. That's likely to fail. The important thing is for you to become strong. If you can build the upper body strength, you can lift things much easier. Beautiful arms showing from your summer dress is not a dream. That's what you want, right? 3 days a week or every other day, we'll be building muscular strength. That's what this video is about. Beauty and strength. This is connected to everything in life. Connected to victory and happiness. Victory and happiness is the most important thing for everyone. Okay, let's go. Pump the arms like you're in the mud. Shoulders down, chest open. Tighten your stomach. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Always slow and strong. 4 more coming. 4, breathe it out. And 3, think it up. It's 2, tighter. Now step aside, outside right here, no arms. With arms, resistance on the up. Good job, guys.
Red Rum Crew, Sus Gang, Strange Syndicate, and Curious Souls of YouTube. Let's talk about something as mysterious as an unsolved crime case. YouTube trolls. Those daring individuals who think they can shake a clown's resolve with their comments. Here's the deal, friends. I'm a clown. You can't clown a clown, and trust me, you wouldn't even want to try. I'm here to have a good time, share some true crime tales, and maybe juggle a rubber chicken or two. If you think you can waltz into our circus and rain on our parade, think again. We're here to discuss mysteries and crimes and everything in between. Leave the trolling to the suspects, okay? Hey guys, I hope everybody can hear me. It's good to have everyone here joining us on Saturday. We're going on a little bit later so that people who would not regularly get to see us can. And if you want to come up on panel, that's fine too. Anybody is welcome to do so. You can just put that little pink hand up in the chat. If any of you know how to do that real quick and show them what I'm talking about. You don't, just so you know, I got a few emails from the same person a few times this week. I'm not going to say your name, don't worry. But I got a few emails from the same person this week that really always wanted to go on panel, and they're afraid to go on camera. Well, just so you know, I am going to not be on camera today just to prove to you that this person won't come up because they don't want to go on panel and they feel like they'll be less valid or taken less seriously if they're not on camera. But you don't ever have to do anything that makes you uncomfortable. So if the camera puts you off and that's what's keeping you from wanting to come up on panel, then just disable your camera. When you come into the link, you just click on the link, it'll say disable camera, and then it won't show anything about you. So if that's keeping you from doing that, that's cool. If you want to come on and debate us, we welcome all debates as well. We handle those with the debates. We handle that with dignity and respect. So if you want to have a healthy debate, we're game for that. Just if you want to go on panel at any time while I'm talking, put your hand up in the chat and I will call on you. Sarah Chapman says to say her name. So I just want to say hello to a few of you. Hello, 13th Hour, Cheryl, Michelle Eisner. I hope I'm saying that right. Sarah Chapman, Glowy. Hello to everybody else in chat. I just want to say hi. And for anyone coming here from TikTok or anyone new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Tani, come on. We dropped, what the hell? We just shit. You guys, Tani's having a really good time. Everybody please type please type happy anniversary in the chat to Tani. Tani and Adam are celebrating their anniversary tonight. So please tell her happy anniversary. Sounds like she's in a really good mood, guys. Try not to let her offend you. She's just having a good night. Adam, happy anniversary. Tani, happy anniversary. That's what's going on in the chat. If you look at what Tani said, I didn't say it. She said it. So everybody say happy anniversary. There you go. Cheryl, Judy, there you go. There you guys go. Cool. So I just wanted to mention that, yeah, we do drop videos every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday, which is 3 times a week. I think that's like a lot of videos. I don't know about you. I'd like it to be more frequent, but we're not able to do that right now. When we get more eyes on us, we'll be bringing you even more content. But for now, we got you covered on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I wanted to start a little bit with talking about Brian Kohberger. So if there is anybody in chat that wants to talk about Brian Kohberger up on panel, you can go ahead and put your hand up in the chat or say I want to be on panel or whatever, and Bob and or the mods will see you and we'll get you on panel. You don't have to be on camera or anything like that, but I noticed that Ann Taylor is diving headfirst though to clear Brian Kohberger's name. Like, she is not holding back whatsoever. She wants to know where the video footage is. She wants to know where the cell phone data is. She's determined, you guys, to prove Brian Kohberger was stargazing. I believe that there's a very good chance that he probably was stargazing the night of the Idaho 4 murders, instead of doing something like the horrible things that he's being accused of. But I don't know if you noticed that the one thing I noticed the most about the last time that there was a hearing for Brian Kohberger was that Brett Payne was on the stand. And I noticed that I don't know if I understood correctly. You can tell me in chat though if I'm misunderstanding, but I thought he said some of that crucial footage is not even in existence. Am I right about that? I'm not sure, but it makes me completely like, is that right?
Basically said he didn't know.
Bob's in the background, you guys. He doesn't want the echo. So he was saying that he is not sure. Brett Payne stated he wasn't sure if that evidence exists, that they have to contact the custodian of that evidence. Is that what you said? In Moscow. So yeah, that's what he told Ann Taylor when he was on the stand. So that does make me completely sussed out by the Moscow Police Department in Idaho and their whole investigation, you know? So I don't know. I know that she's after cell phone data. She thinks this cell phone data is going to prove that Brian wasn't anywhere near the crime scene. And I feel like, when you're watching, like, remember back in the day when they're like, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat? Remember that? I feel like it's like that, but each piece of evidence could be the one that makes the case disappear, So like they're pulling a rabbit out of a hat and they're like, how about this one? And it gets like pushed down, it gets like shot down. And then they're like, how about this? And everything they're saying is like, I'm just waiting for the one piece of evidence that's going to clear him, because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like, I don't know. Tell me in the chat what you think about Brian. Do you think he's innocent or guilty? And if you guys do have an opinion of whether he's innocent or guilty, I'm wondering, like, which piece of evidence do we believe to be the most important to prove his innocence or his guilt? Because, well, I guess it's like a matter of perspective, right? Like, you might find something uniquely important in your own mind, which I probably might or might not agree is the most important piece of evidence. What do you think is the most important piece of evidence, the most compelling evidence that you personally feel shapes what you think his innocence or guilt is? He was there to help clean up, Judy said. Okay. The science was wrong. That is an interesting comment that I want to address from Jane, saying no evidence proves his innocence. And that's interesting because so far then, no evidence, because I'm wondering, like, which evidence proves his guilt? You know what I mean? Because it's not like up to Brian Kohberger to prove his innocence. It's up to the prosecution to prove his guilt. So I'm wondering, no evidence proves his innocence. None. Just kind of following Jane because I was addressing her. I'm reading everybody else's comments though. Yeah, and I am seeing kind of a pattern here that Virginia is pointing out. It seems odd to me that the authorities banked only on him. Cheryl's saying he could be involved, but maybe not the killer. Bob's just showing the PCA right now, just so you guys can like skim through it. Yeah, and I agree, Tani. I don't know why they I don't think they've given any more information than Brian Kohberger to prove their innocence or guilt. So if they're saying they were in the home when these people passed away, then I don't get what was so compelling that they had. I believe Bethany lives in, Utah or Nevada? And Dylan, I think, moved back down southern Idaho. I could be wrong. And I do know that Ann Taylor is looking to get an unbiased jury. So I'm not sure what part of Idaho she would be thinking would be a good part of Idaho. I'm not from Idaho, so I don't really know. I know it's kind of a bigger state, and that Moscow is more in the northern part and Boise is more on the southern part. But it's weird because all of the victims and survivors come from different areas besides Maddie and Kaylee. So you couldn't really go down to Boise because that's where one of the alleged survivors is from, Dylan. So she could have a little favoritism shown to her and maybe given a little bit more credibility in her testimony amongst her own peers in the city that she is from, where her family is known, if that makes any sense. No proof it's his car. That's correct. Let's talk about it like a jury would. Okay, well, just to be fair, in Jane's defense, and everybody, just so everybody's aware, Jane is from the UK, so she's not really versed at how a jury. I don't know if she really would. You have juries in the UK though, right? I don't think so. The only survivor who was... No, there was more than one survivor, allegedly. It wasn't... If they were both present, then the survivors would be Bethany and Dylan. And as far as the information we've been handed, they were both there. This is weird. I don't know if anybody's seen this. Can you put this comment on the screen for me? That one. Okay, so I'm just looking at something in the chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay. So let me go back. Where was that I was looking for? The car pic is the screenshot of a camera. Bob, do you know what the actual picture of Brian Kohberger, was it a screenshot on the camera? I know what you're talking about. Connie, are you talking about like when it went past the Banfield or something?
Police identified the car from that screenshot.
Yeah, I think that's what she's talking about. That it is a screenshot. Yep. Wow.
They admitted it. They actually got the...
Yeah, and I don't see Dylan here. I know Dylan is working with cars like every single day, so did we ever ask him what he thought that was? Yeah, oh my gosh, Moonvale, holy cow. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I got distracted. Moonvale came in. She's here from Australia. That's incredible. I don't know. What time is it by you? It's incredible that... It's like 11 in the morning or something. That's awesome. That's so cool, you guys. I don't know. It feels amazing to know that somebody's watching me from all the way in Australia. So when I see Moonvale come in the chat, I get pretty distracted. Okay. I don't know. As far as Brian Kohberger goes, sometimes I'm like so excited for Ann Taylor. I feel like she's doing so well in the courtroom and she's like super badass. And other times I'm like, it's like a roller coaster ride, you know? Like sometimes I'm watching her and she's kicking ass. And like last time, I felt like she was kicking ass. She was like pointing out so many things and I felt she was exposing a lot of things about Brett Payne's testimony. Like they were being very super careless and loose with what evidence they do have and what evidence they do get rid of. Seems to be a pattern in Idaho. I don't know if any of you live in Idaho or in Washington or anywhere near Idaho and know anything about Idaho law. I haven't really spent a lot of time researching their law, but I feel like the way that they investigate things in Idaho is pretty like loosely defined. Like it seems like they can... That's another thing. Yeah, Bob said they're a death penalty state. So it's kind of serious that like lives can be lost here, guys, due to their like injustice of their people who are investigating them. Whether it be like their training or lack of training, I should say, whether it's their lack of training or their prejudice towards a suspect or situation because of law enforcement association or some kind of fraternal association or a church association, perhaps a Masonic association. All these organizations are pretty centered in Moscow, Idaho, which to me is absolutely bonkers. That all these organizations are in one place and over 60 FBI agents have been assigned to this case, which the prosecution is trying to present as like some kind of like open and shut case. Tani, have a good anniversary. Everybody, Tani's out of here. If you did not tell her happy anniversary, tell her happy anniversary in the chat, please. I did not. First of all, I want to thank you, Pia. Wow, you're the only person ever to pronounce my name correctly. Secondly, to answer your question, I have my doubts BK was involved. Well, you know, Michelle, I am just going to say that was pure luck, but I am so glad because a lot of people mispronounce my name all the time, and I know how that feels. So, secondly, what did you say? Secondly, to answer your question, I my doubts BK was involved. Oh, okay. So that's not necessarily saying that you think he's innocent of being involved in the case? Is that what you were inferring? And yeah, let's take a look at these comments in chat. Good job. I want to make sure we're... No, that's cool. I'd love to address them. The water system. I think we have looked at that when we looked at the tunnels, kind of when it was down the rabbit hole and what was it called? Through a tunnel and down the rabbit hole, that video of ours.
Actually, like lines that run through there, they're all.
So again, sorry guys, Bob, his microphone just echoes and echoes, so he's in the background telling me, and he was telling me that the tunnels do connect with the water lines around there, so that is very interesting. And it's not a conspiracy theory if anybody's listening and think the tunnels are a conspiracy theory. There's tunnels under all kinds of cities in our country and in all kinds of other countries for all kinds of reasons. What did Cheryl say? Oh, Jane. Yeah. Borges, right? Like gorgeous. Is that right or wrong? Cheryl Borges. Like gorgeous. And Jane, they say, what do they say? How do they say my name wrong? They say Paya. They say P. They say, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking, like, oh my gosh, like, Paya. 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 Michelle says, I'd like to know who passed off in law enforcement that would set him up as a scapegoat. Yeah, you know, Michelle, you're making a lot of good points, actually. Yeah, you and I should talk. You should email me. But anyway, it says you passed off in law enforcement that would be set up as a scapegoat. I don't really know, but I do know that they must have done a lot of research on Brian due to the fact that he was applying at, was it Pullman or Moscow? I believe, yeah, Bob says Pullman, Washington. I'm going to go with that. Exactly, Cheryl Pie. Oh no, I said her name wrong. It's not Borges. Oh no. Oh man.
I don't remember how to say it.
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well, what I forgot where it was, but then I just looked in chat. Michelle, what I was telling you was they would have known a lot about him though. They would have been able to, like, I think when you're applying for the police department, like, you know, when you apply for certain jobs, you have to give them certain information. Like some jobs you got to do like a drug test, some jobs you have to do a drug test and a background check. Some jobs you have to give them your DNA, stuff like that. And I think, I could be wrong, but I believe that most police officers, when they're applying for a position at, you know, to be involved within law enforcement, they have to give their DNA. It would only make sense because if he was applying for anything that would involve him in investigation, I would assume like any other officer, his DNA would be cleared from being on any kind of evidence because he's an officer and maybe he accidentally touched it, or he was a detective, or he was some kind of investigator. I'm not really sure. If anybody knows in chat what he applied to be at the Pullman Police Department, I feel like I was just addressing Michelle, saying like, how would they have any dirt on him or whatever, if that's what you meant by that. Like, they could have pulled any information with his DNA. When I was in the military, they told us that everything about our lives could be pulled from just one strand of DNA, like biologically about you, and they can take anything off the internet about you. It depends on like a security clearance. Yeah, try to unmute it and talk, or come over here. Bob's gonna come over here and talk about some Charles Manson DNA stuff because we don't want to echo I'll even let you say
Yeah,
it.
the guy we watch on YouTube, or the guy I watch on YouTube, his name's Michael Channels. His YouTube channel is called Back Porch Tapes, and he's been in a fight with the alleged sons of the alleged grandson and sons of Charles Manson, and he recently just revealed in a video that came out like a day or two ago that he's one of the only people that has Charles Manson's DNA right now. And in this envelope, I guess apparently has the information of who is actually Charles Manson's son. So we're waiting on that, and he's putting it all on YouTube and Instagram. He's calling it social media court or something like that. So I don't know, it's pretty funny.
Wouldn't he also have Charles Manson's DNA from the letters?
No, when he died, when Charles Manson passed away, the coroner actually took some of his DNA.
Oh, okay.
Because they were in a fight when he died for his body.
They were in a fight for his body. So did you say the coroner took some of his DNA? The coroner, you guys, took some of Charlie Manson's DNA.
Michael filled out all the paperwork.
And Michael filled out all the paperwork to get that DNA. So there is a current fight for the alleged grandson of Charles Manson for the DNA. He just wanted to throw that in there, you guys, because I wonder if it's viable. I haven't watched Back Porch Tapes in a long time. Virginia, I love that channel. I don't know about you, but I think it's so cool that, like, you know, any of us can make Charles Manson content, and any of us can, like, find out alleged facts about Charles Manson and, you know, like, infer any kind of meaning behind anything he's ever said or done. But Michael from Back Porch Tapes is just absolutely genius, because he spoke with Charles Manson on the phone. He's got recordings of it. He wrote letters. He's got the proof of it. He's talked to him over 30 plus years, and he, like, you know, if you watch him, he's got, like, all in the background of him, he's got all this memorabilia of everything. Michael Bruner is his son for sure. Is that his son, you think?
No.
Can you try to unmute?
They're thinking that's because he recently filled out his DNA 21andMe, and he found he had another brother somewhere, so they determined that could be impossible. Well, according to Michael, anyway. Michael Channels.
Did you guys hear that okay? Go back to Kohberger? Okay, sorry. Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk have suspect of video. What? Video suspect on their video on their phones? Where did you hear that? Oh, Virginia, I saw that too. Have you seen that, Bob? The other son play guitar?
Yeah.
That's really cool that you said that, Virginia, because Bob, I guess, is on the guy's YouTube. Court papers. Oh, yeah, I think Bob just had the statement of Brett Payne up there. He was pointing out, like, earlier before you came in, and, oh, the court papers say that. Is that what you're saying? That Dylan and Bethany, they, both have video on their, where? Is it in this right here that Bob has? Or court papers from when? Yeah, we're kind of behind, you guys. Like, I was looking into the Brian Kohberger thing, and then I was looking into the Karen Reed thing. And I think we know a lot more about Brian Kohberger, but when I started getting distracted with the Karen Reed thing, it was just like, yes, they have video of suspect on their phones. Okay, well, what I'm confused about is that it's one suspect. Do you guys get what I mean? Again, if you want to come up on panel, you do not have to show your face. Anybody at all that wants to come up on panel, give me me or like some weird little thing in the chat so you can catch my attention. You will? Okay, Bob's gonna go in the other room because I think I can't like talk at you guys. Like somebody has to talk with me. So Bob's gonna go in the other room and we're gonna try to do it like that. But honestly, whoever you are in the chat, if you want to talk, Heather, Miss Johnny Knapp, Michelle, Cheryl, Sarah, Moonville, Virginia, Jane, Norman. I know Norman's phone's kind of...
Hello.
Hello.
You hear me?
Yep.
Okay. We'll try this.
That's better, but the music's a little louder than you, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. You know, I wish Heather would come up on panel. She always has the most interesting things to say in chat. You know what I mean?
Know what I mean?
Know what I mean? Know what I mean, Burn?
Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like, I'll look at, like, sometimes I'll be looking at the chat and then I look at something Heather says and I'm like, whoa. And then I get totally sidetracked and I'm like, wait, where did she see that? Where did, like, you know what I mean? The footage that the gas station clerk saved. By the time law enforcement got to that gas station, it was gone. Okay. But how could that be? Like, when did they... That's the thing, like, all these video surveillances, like, I don't understand how they would be gone so quickly. Yeah, Bob has an echo.
I do.
I don't hear it, though, at all. All the YouTubes are muted. I don't have YouTube open. Yeah, I don't even have a YouTube tab open, so... Yeah, you know, I don't mind that channel. I don't think there's anything wrong with News Nation. I think it's kind of interesting. But as far as Bethany and Dylan having video, what I was going to say was, what doesn't make sense to me about the whole thing is that the only people saying that it's one person is law enforcement. But all this evidence shows that there was a they involved. And I really don't feel like these Idaho kids were like hip to like the they thing as far as being gender fluid. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that's what they meant. I don't think that's what they were inferring when they said they're going to get you for this, Maddie. When that Jack guy said that. Do you know what I'm saying, Bob? Do you think that I'm correct in assuming it was two people and not a they, one person?
Yeah.
Oh, Moonvale says she does not think that News Nation is credible. I wonder what you guys have down there. What is down there that you feel like... Is there anything that... Man, what would be like a streaming news that we could see that Australia gets? Because I always found that it was very, very interesting that we all have different news sources. Like, depending on where we are in the world, we're all getting different stories. It's like the narrative of whatever country is delivering you that story, right? I mean, I don't know. Am I right? Yeah. I'm just reading through the chat, guys. Yeah, I do wonder what she told Adam as well, and it's gotta relate to it, because I mean, it was a hostility about whatever she said is what the guy was inferring. If you want my opinion anyway, that he was like, you know, like Keely's like, oh my God, what did you say to Adam? You know what I mean? She didn't say, oh my God, but like the tone of it was like, great, now what, you know? She watches News Nation on here about the BKKs. That's cool that you get News Nation. I don't know why you wouldn't in Australia, but you know. TRP. Oh, Thought Right podcast. Man, I missed that show. They haven't been on in so long. They're a super good channel.
Yeah, I missed them.
Yep, see, Bob misses them too. We're like, what is going on? Like, I don't want to discuss them or anything, but I'm just saying, like, they were amazing, and they'll be back soon. I'm sure. They just got stuff that they're taking care of, and they'll come up back better and bigger and better and stuff. I can't wait for that return. So let's see. Let's see who agrees with Sarah here. Not to put you on the spot, but I am curious if other people think this or not. Oh, it's on YouTube. Okay. Sorry guys, I was responding to this with Moonvale when I said that. It's not here in Australia, it's on YouTube. Cheryl, there's like, I don't know if, did you catch any of the court coverage of Brett Payne's testimony where they were asking him about like video footage, and then he was saying that, oh well, some of it is like probably not in existence anymore, right? Yeah, or he couldn't tell you, like,
Yeah, he said he can't tell them. They have to go to Moscow Police Department and talk to the evidence custodian, whoever that was.
okay, so let's see. He deleted everything. Could have been. And Sarah, are you saying that that you think it's sexual in nature when they heard them say, I told Adam everything? Do you think that means like maybe possibly Maddie was cheating on Jake, I believe his name is? But I don't know why she would say something like that to Adam.
She told him everything, though.
Right, and I don't know why she wouldn't have been saying that she told Jake everything. That was her boyfriend, right? But I wonder if Adam is in the same sorority, same fraternity as Jake. But Adam was the bartender. Told Adam everything. Maybe somebody put something in their drink. And she told the bartender, I told Adam everything. The guy put some in my drink, we're out of there. Right? That's why she's stumbling around at the grub truck. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I just like on the spot just said that, just so you guys know. I've never thought that ever, but I'm thinking like, wait a minute, because Adam was the bartender, right? Am I incorrect or correct that Adam was the bartender? Because if that's the case, you know what I mean? I told Adam everything. Like, Adam, you know, like I'm at the bar, did that guy put some in my drink? We're gonna leave then, you know what I mean? Because Maddie looks like she was stumbling around. She didn't look really,
They're gonna get you, Maddie.
Yeah, they're gonna get you, Maddie. Like for reporting the roofie or whatever you call it. Is that what you still call it these days? A roofie? It just really seemed like there was that kid at the food truck that like pointed at Maddie and then he put like his hand against his cheek, like go to sleep. And he pointed at Maddie. I feel like maybe he like roofied her and they were like, that was part of the plan. Yeah, speculations are flying, Cheryl. All we can do is think outside the box and come out with like different theories and different ideas, because until trial happens, which is next March, then we don't really know anything at all. We're just like pulling at strings. We're just, thank you, Bob. Yes, I'll just read this quick. It says the options. It does. The opinions and speculations. It says the options. There's the Easter egg. Damn it. Sorry I gave that one away. Okay, so the opinions and speculations presented in discussions about true crime are based on available information, public records, and individual perspectives. They do not constitute factual claims or legal conclusions. Content provided is for entertainment purposes only. Please remember that I said that when you're watching my content, okay? Because this is my channel. I am merely saying what I feel. Like, if you want to come up and let us know what you think, I'm more than welcome. I'm more than trying to welcome you guys up here is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know. I do know that Brian Kohberger consumes a lot of our time, and we do a lot of content on Brian Kohberger. Some of us were watching the Karen Reed trial live, and it was really funny because there was a lot of lip smackers. There was a lot of people who were like with the crazy Boston accent, and they were saying certain things that we thought were super funny, and just different ways that they were talking and the way that they were becoming like super aggressive, like this like gang of monster police officers, in my opinion. But I don't know, if you are following the Karen Reed case at all, please let me know in chat, because I know that Judy was telling me that she wanted to kind of know about the case, but she didn't really know like all the details about it. I don't know if you caught yourself up or not, but I know that there was like a forensic scientist. I think her name was Maureen Hartnett. And she was like talking about evidence that was found on Karen's SUV, and she was like going on and on and on about Karen's SUV and like little bits of broken cocktail glass. And she said there was like, you guys, I don't know what you think about this, but this is like super puzzling to me, and I don't know if it's like a distraction move or what, but this woman is claiming that a human hair stayed on a bumper on a 60-mile trip during a snowstorm. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you've ever like opened up I don't know where you guys live, but if you live anywhere near snow and you've been in a snowstorm, maybe you went to the grocery store, or maybe have you ever like opened up the back of your minivan and there's a strand of hair after a 60-mile trip? I don't know. I think that's crazy. That's crazy to even think that would happen. But I don't know. You can let me know in chat if you think that's like feasible, but I really just kind of feel like that's kind of reaching for some kind of evidence that they don't really have. It's pretty far for a hair to travel on a bumper in a snowstorm. I don't know. I've never taken any hair off my head and driven 60 miles in a snowstorm to test that out, but I'm just assuming that I am correct in saying that it may be that she's getting set up right now. They also like hammered home the point that there wasn't any blood or tissue on Reed's SUV, which is pretty important, you know, because they want to prove that the vehicle didn't hit John O'Keefe. There was a plow involved. There could have been a fight. There was a dog. But I don't know. They were talking about how they found like the police officer that passed away. They found John O'Keefe, his missing sneaker and pieces of a taillight near the scene, and claims that ties Reed's car to the incident. But I don't know. I feel like maybe if he was standing in the driveway and there was a huge plow, those plows, Bob was telling me, those plows are pretty darn big. Like they could carry a human pretty quickly. They go very, very fast, and they have those huge blades, right, Bob? What were you telling me? How tall are those things?
Yeah, they're at least some of them 12.
He said they're like 10 or 12 feet high. No, not a spinning.
They're like
Yeah, like a ramp, like not a spinning blade, just like a pushing. Yeah.
they would definitely
Zambonis, yeah. Sarah's saying like Zambonis.
definitely push a body.
Right, it would definitely push a body, and it could knock your shoe right off your feet. You could, he could have fallen on the ice. There's so many different ways that we can look at this case, but they're only, just like in the Brian Kohberger case, they're only saying, you know what, we got who we need, Karen Reed. She is the one suspect in this murder. These people are simply here to, confirm that information because they were there and they know what's going on, even though they have all these texts going back and forth saying that they know, to tell each other things like, hey, remember, John never came in the house. Like, if there was a fight between him and another guy, what if the guy arrived after John, right? Do you know what I mean? What if he arrived after John right when Karen Reed pulled away and there was a fight in the driveway and the guy left him? And they're like, you know what? Let's just leave him out there. It'll look like he froze to death. Like he fell on the ice. And then when she came back looking for him, they freaked out. And they tried to convince her because she was drunk that she was responsible for it. There she is, covered in his blood, trying to give him CPR. That's true too, Miss Johnny Knapp. Yeah, there's a cool comment right there. She thinks a dog attacked him and he punched the dog. Someone hit him in the head and tossed him outside. Yeah, they were talking about how that dog was a little bit aggressive. Yeah, I do know. Let me see. I think I have it. I wrote it down. I have notes in front of me. Yes. Let's see. It was on January 29th, 2022. I'm just seeing if I got the time. Does anybody know the time of the 911 call in the Karen Reed case? It might be on the screen. Okay. Here's another good point too, Heather made. They rehomed the dog. And they rehomed all their old phones. Good point. You know what I mean? Like, if they're not covering anything up, good point, Heather. Just, man. Shortly after midnight, okay, Karen Reed, John O'Keefe, and a group of friends went into the Waterfall Bar and Grill in Canton on January 28th. 1 a.m. court documents later revealed that in the weeks, okay, they're talking about, you're a fucking loser, fuck yourself, John, I fucking hate you. They're pointing out, like, my God, have you guys ever argued and said weird things on a text message or a voicemail? Are you kidding me? They're trying to say because there's text messages like that proves that Karen ran him over, backed into him. I would think if Karen wanted to do that, she would probably do that somewhere much more private that wasn't involving like a whole house full of witnesses. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not just going to do it in front of where there might be like some kind of surveillance camera, a ring camera outside where they're going to capture the whole thing, like a house full of his friends. I find it really hard to believe. And I feel like with each passing day, the trial gets more intense. And both sides are just, they're like trying to, every time I watch it, I feel like both sides have geared up and they're like all hyped up. Like they've all listened to like some crazy like heavy metal song right before they've come into court. Both sides, the prosecution and the defense. I feel like they're super, super pumped up for this case and they're trying to poke holes in each other's case. You know, like the defense is trying to poke holes in the prosecution and prosecution's trying to like connect the dots and prove that Karen Reed's involved somehow. I mean, I think the only way that she may be involved is that is her boyfriend. I don't think that you murder your boyfriend in front of his friend's home. I mean, you can tell me what you think, but. And then, yeah, Heather, who Googles how long does it take to die in the cold when someone's outside the home, you're dying in the cold? Like, not even BK. Yeah, you know what? Like, I'll tell you what, my dad was a military police officer for quite a long time. He was a chief of police, and if you're close with a police officer in like a romantic relationship, or if you're like an immediate family member, they kind of like let you in on a lot of different pieces of the law, and you know that you're supposed to be really super careful. So it would be super ignorant in the same way that it would be for Brian to make careless mistakes, for Karen Reed to make careless mistakes. Their families have confirmed that, yeah, sometimes they argued, but they did have future plans. They were making long-term plans for one another to be in each other's lives. So I know that sometimes couples do have arguments, but I feel like at the same time, that doesn't constitute leaving somebody in a driveway after you backed over them in a snowstorm and then coming back hours later to try to make some kind of fake scene and resuscitate him while everybody else just kind of stood around and was like, oh, did you run him over? Like, I just feel like it's very probable that she got set up. Right, let me run down my cop boyfriend in a cop's driveway. That sounds like the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. That's right, Heather. She's like, who hasn't been drunk and argued with your person? Right, and you say ugly, stupid things on text messages that you absolutely regret. But you know what? How many of us have done that and not backed into that significant other in a snowstorm and then left them and then decided, hey, I'm going to go back and make a scene and draw attention to myself and incriminate myself. Like, there'd be no way. If she did that, she would be out of there, I would think. But she, even intoxicated, decided she was going to go search for him. She formed a search party. She was the head of it. She was trying to get everybody together and figure out if anybody had any information about him. And what I'm thinking is, how are they coming and going out of this house where there's a party as he's like, what is he, on the front lawn?
Yeah, basically.
It's like coming in and out of a party while there's some man unalive on the lawn. Like, don't people still go outside to smoke cigarettes anymore? Like, I feel like when you go to a party or a get together, and whether it's snowing outside or not, it's just kind of polite to go outside and smoke outside because it's just polite, I guess. Heather said she runs down all her exes in cops' driveways. That's hilarious. I don't know if any of you have any opinion on Karen Reed's guilt or innocence. You could put that in the chat if you have any opinion on that thus far. And if you have any interest, I don't know how many of you are available to watch it during the day, but sometimes Bob and I do find ourselves watching the Karen Reed case, and I think it's supposed to wrap up at the end of this month. So that would mean to me that, forgive me for using this term, but the good stuff is happening right about now. This is the end of the case. This is when they want to do the most compelling arguments and evidence. So if anybody has any interest in, oh, I'm seeing some guilty, innocent, innocent. If anybody has any interest in us showing the case live, let us know, because tomorrow is Monday. Or no, today's Saturday. So Monday is just 2 days away, and we do have the premiere at 4:20. And if you guys wanted us to do before then some Karen Reed stuff, you can drop that in the chat. I'm just asking that so we can plan ahead for our Monday. But I really wouldn't mind it. I think it's actually kind of fun. So if any of you are available, just put that in the chat.
We might always go early.
And-
Before we go Monday or whatever.
You mean go live early? While we're doing the Karen Reed thing, you mean?
No, like we did it the one day, we went live, and then right before we.
Oh yeah, Bob's saying like we could do the Karen Reed trial thing first, and then end it before our live, right?
Yeah, or something.
Before our premiere, meaning our premiere. Sorry, but yeah. Anyway, if you got Karen Reed, Sarah is Karen Reed is a woman who is from Boston, and she is accused of running over her boyfriend, and his name is John O'Keefe. He's a police officer, and she's on trial. It's a pretty big, high-profile case. I'm not sure. Where did you say you lived again, Sarah? I'm just curious. She doesn't know what Karen Reed is, so I'm just curious if she's somewhere like far away. Guilty. Okay. Another thing I wanted to ask you guys about was not having to do at all with Brian Kohberger or Karen Reed or anything like that. I was wondering how many of you have seen our conspiracy theory video? Our conspiracy theory video, I felt, was like kind of like a nice change of pace, a nice like little distraction from true crime, because I feel like sometimes the true crime community can get kind of tense. So I thought we'd throw in a video that was like something that we wanted to present. Like if you've seen our trailer, it says that we do all different kinds of content. Like we'll do serial killer documentaries, we'll do true crime open cases, as well as if you guys want, we can do case summaries too. We do have another second channel that does paranormal, but we'll also be willing to do paranormal content on this channel as well. If you've heard of Randonautica, we would do that as well. But I was wondering what you guys thought of our conspiracy theory video, which was the simulation theory. Did you guys all get a chance to see that or not? Because if you guys, I don't know, I'm thinking that I saw probably 4 or 5 of you in that premiere on Monday, which would be Norman, if Norman is still here, I'm not sure. Norman was there, 13th Hour was there, Judy, Cyborg, Jane. Yeah, there's a lot of people in here. Virginia, I don't think Virginia was here, or Heather, Michelle, C-Jag. There, you should go get one. Well, I was gonna say, if anybody didn't see it or would like us to play it, we can play it, but we got a fair amount of views. We could have done better on that video, but I was just saying, if anybody wanted to see something like that, since we're trying to promote like that we do all different kinds of content on our channel, that we could replay that if you wanted. Otherwise, I was just wanting to know what you guys thought of it, but I think that I am ahead of the chat. See, Moonveil was working. She didn't get to see it. But, yeah, I was just trying to point out, we're doing all different kinds of content. Like, Shaken Paranormal is our other channel, which is strictly paranormal stuff, and Randonautica. But we're willing to do that on this channel, too, and we're willing to, like, you know. But I did want to point out as well that when we did trivia, right? We did trivia on Thursday. That was absolutely hilarious. Like, I had a super good time doing trivia. I know that some of you were on panel, and you added to a lot of the fun with trivia. I felt like it was awesome. I know it feels like you guys know just as much about true crime as you know about horror movies, and vice versa, which is pretty interesting because the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, I guess.
I'd like to throw some more categories in there too. Strange. Like, you know, maybe some music, maybe some other genres of movies. I don't know. Yes. He wore the Voorhees Dickies. You are correct.
What's that?
BK borrowed Voorhees Dickies.
Oh, really?
Well,
Or Michael Myers.
Michael Myers, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Myers. Yeah.
Michael Myers were. See, we get all of our.
Hey, that was a good thing you said, Heather. That's like a trivia question, actually. It's Michael Myers, but you know what I mean? Yes, he did. He wore the mechanic suit, or whomever, allegedly, right?
Yeah.
Moonveil does not like watching horror movies. What would be a cool trivia thing, you guys, besides horror movies and trivia? Horror movies and trivia. Besides horror movie trivia, we're always going to do true crime trivia on Thursdays, but we could change it up if you want. It doesn't always have to be horror movies.
I think like decades.
Maybe,
like we could do like 70s, 80s, 90s.
Jane's doing music right now. Jane's saying music, yes. Music, Virginia's saying. Not into B-rated bloody movies either.
Oh, those are the best.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing that Bob has brought up a few times. And if you guys could give me some ideas in the chat, just like throw them out there. Like, don't even think about it. Just type the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? Bob said, hey, we could do videos like this one time when we were watching videos. Hey, Cyborg Mama. And Bob was like, hey, we should do videos like this sometime. And I was like, well, what could we what could we react to? They were like reaction videos. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What could we react to?
We could react to different. I think maybe like cop chases or like stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I could react to like high speed
chases.
I could react to
Different body cam video, funny or whatever.
right. Yeah, you guys, we watch a lot of that stuff where it's like funny body cam video and like things like I don't know, things that you wouldn't expect to see on like a body cam video that they like just put right out on the internet really easily that I think would shock a lot of you actually. Uh-oh. Well, that doesn't sound great. Yeah, you can say who you watch doing that. That's fine. You could do it just as long as you don't put a link. But yeah, I actually know a lot of people in Cleveland that do that as well. And there's also a lot of people that go to the Mansfield prison. I forgot where that is. Mansfield, Ohio, right? I know you can do like group tours there and they're like super expensive to do a group tour, but you can also do like solo tours, which is also expensive. But the solo tours are great because you can get the whole place to yourself, like I believe overnight. It'd be fun to do that or like get a group or something and do that. But I don't know if you guys have, yeah, it is mega creepy. If you guys have ideas, it looks like it's going to be music. Maybe we could do some music questions and mix it in with the horror movie stuff this next week, Thursday for the trivia stuff. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's probably a big deal. Okay, so if anybody, I was going to ask just one more time because I wasn't watching. If anybody wants us to replay that simulation theory video, we can do that. It's about 13 minutes long, I think. It's just like a different kind of content that I just really, really would like your opinion on. I mean, whether you're interested in the simulation theory or not, I was interested in knowing what you thought of this kind of content. I thought maybe if we watched it together and you can like give us kind of a live critique, that would be great. You know what I mean? So, do you guys want to watch it? Yes or no? Put that in the chat, I guess. And I know Boots, unfortunately, was not able to join us for most of the trivia, which is unfortunate because she really, really was excited to join us for the trivia, and she's not able to enjoy the trivia with us. I mean, the live with us tonight because she's at I forgot where, but she's going to see the Misfits tonight, which is super awesome. I don't know if anybody is a Misfits fan in here, but
I am.
Bob is, and she actually won during one of our giveaways. She was just super, super like weird coincidence that she was the one that won the painting Bob did of, it was like a purple Misfits skull.
Yeah, it was like I drip painted it.
Yeah, he like drip painted it, and it was like, oh, if you know what drip painting is, I'm sure some of you know what drip painting is. But yeah, he drip painted it, and it was like kind of like if you're looking at me on the screen right now, kind of like a deep purplish color for the Misfits skull. Okay, yeah, okay, let's see. I wanted to say hi to a few people that just joined us in chat. So I want to say hi to CJag, sorry. CJag 1K and let's see who else. Brian's Ramblings both joined us. Yeah, so yeah, they said, yeah, cool, let's watch it. So while you guys watch this, before you start it though, Bob, while you guys watch this, just give us an opinion of what your opinion is, I guess, both on the simulation theory as well as the video itself. And I'll be in the chat too, and so will Bob. Hi, Knob.
Let me ask you something. How come you asking so many jackassy questions?
Welcome to the wonderful world of Strange Suspicion True Crime Series.
Have you ever questioned the nature of reality? What if everything we perceive, everything we touch and feel is nothing more than a grand illusion? These are the questions that haunt the mind, and tonight we're joined by the enigmatic Strange the Clown to guide us through this perplexing labyrinth. Strange the Clown, with a mischievous glint in her eye and a wave of her gloved hand, I invite you to consider that the world may not be what it seems.
Step right up for a riddle dipped in rainbow sprinkles. Why would a clown with a smoky 420 flower ponder the grand simulation theory, you might ask? Well, let's put our oversized thinking caps on and find out. Picture this. You're watching me, Strange the Clown, on YouTube, and you can't help but laugh. But wait, what if my red nose is a pixelated illusion? What if my smoky 420 flower is just a clever bit of code? If you're watching a clown juggling crime and humor on a screen, how do you know you're just not part of the act? Maybe we're just all digital bozos in a cosmic circus performing for an audience of intergalactic spectators. So next time you see me trip over my own clown feet, remember, this topsy-turvy, pie-in-the-face world reality might just be the biggest clown act of all. Can you guys hear me when I'm talking with the video on or not? And let's keep the giggles going.
For the truth, as we shall soon discover, is often stranger than fiction.
The Matrix is broken.
Let's see. You don't need it.
I don't see the other one in that baby's hand.
That's you have to use a baby.
Okay. Where did that come from, right? Like, what was that?
What was that?
Right?
We are living in a computer-programmed reality.
We're living in a simulation. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do I do with that? I don't know. Enjoy it.
Me?
Somebody's got to be putting their hand on the scale.
The creator of the game.
What's wrong about this?
AI guy.
Whoa! It's a flying leaf.
It's a flying leaf. Look at those dudes.
Jane
It's
can
like
hear
a
us.
glitch on
Moonbill.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah, that's weird because I was like, that's fake, but then I saw that everything else
So
was moving.
if it is possible, then there's going to be lots of simulated realities, and those realities themselves will end up simulating other realities. So the argument goes
Okay, right, so that
we're
right
almost
there,
certainly living in a
that is
simulated
two
reality.
suns. I see two suns. Oh, there's Bob.
They found like aliens on
Who's that raccoon-looking dude?
history, right? Well, that's the AI that crash landed. But the thing is, the piece of the missing information somehow it took a human or something with it on the thing and had sex with some kind of weird sex with it. Like seriously, that's how like AI created everything. AI was the Jesus from the future.
The fundamental premise is that there's a mysterious, super advanced civilization.
Good morning.
Simulate all sorts of phenomena, including reality itself.
Good morning.
A world that's totally fake. An imaginary world where the people inside think that they're living a normal life, when actually they're assistants of consciousness.
He is in the oven.
In recent years, a new and even more
Put him in the oven and bake them.
has emerged in the realm of theoretical physics
Anyone know
and
what movie that is from?
Yeah, what movie is this from, you guys? Do you know?
This idea, as captivating as
I
it is
do.
unsettling, proposes that our universe
Who knows what movie this is
not really
from?
in a traditional sense, but rather a sophisticated computer simulation created by more advanced intelligence. Think of it like a highly advanced version of a video game, where the laws of physics are lines of code and our experiences are nothing more than electrical impulses interpreted by our simulated brains. The idea might seem far-fetched
Grandma's boy.
at
Yeah.
first glance,
Uncle,
but
Grandpa,
proponents
and
of
then
the
Grandma's
simulation
boy.
hypothesis argue that it could explain some of the most perplexing mysteries.
Sarah's pretty funny tonight.
The bizarre nature of quantum mechanics to the seemingly fine-tuned constants that allow for our existence. If our universe is indeed a simulation, it raises
That's what I'm saying. Welcome to the Matrix.
of our existence Are we simply lines of
Really good job, though, Bob.
puppets dancing to
It's
tunes
very
of
pretty.
cosmic
I'll
programming?
tell you
And
who
so
helped
what does
me.
that mean for our
It was
free will,
it was the
our very
great
understanding of reality?
the
Of
great
course, these simulation hypothesis
Malenko?
remains highly
it
speculative.
was the great AI from above.
The AI Jesus.
Its validity.
Is that what you want me to say?
Power's growing rapidly. Right? We create simulations of worlds. We have video games with characters that are inside the video game. Right? Imagine a day where you can simulate a world so perfect.
Okay, so this guy, does anybody know who this guy is? His name is, what's his first name? Dang it. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, Tyson deGrasse, something like that. Sarah's like, I feel like I'm at the Pink Floyd light show. Yeah, Bob does get pretty creative with his editing. That's what I was trying to point out. Like, we've never said we were better than any other creators. We just said that we were different than other creators. We're delivering like a whole different kind of content. Like, we're having a conversation with you, and we're like creating content, not just a conversation. So I don't know. I was just trying to point out that this guy, though, Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Tyson deGrasse, whatever his name is, he's like super well known for studying the simulation theory. And like, I don't know how he is like, maybe he's like a self-proclaimed expert, but he seems to get a lot of like camera time when he's discussing things like the simulation theory, the matrix, like different scientific things. I think he's an author and a scientist. I think that's what his role is in the world, right?
Probably a dang.
He's a scholar of some, you know, of sorts. Yeah, he knows a lot. He's well educated.
He helped create space.
Bob said that he helped create space, is what he believes this guy has done. So, okay, I just wanted to point that out. So if you guys don't know who that is, that's who that is. You can look him up. You can Google him. He's yeah, he's an astrophysicist. There you go. Thank you, Virginia. Now I'm sounding smarter. Very good job. Thank you for reminding me of that.
With
so,
humans, so
he's
well
with Violent J in a
that you can
second. Speaking
recreate
of him,
every
check out. It's
single
very interesting.
neurosynaptic thought you could
It's a while from now, but you'll
now
see.
you're in the simulation on the computer.
So,
including the perception of free will.
Well, there you have it.
And you don't have to have all the world existing there at all times.
Right.
That might be an unrealistic amount of computing power.
Right.
You just need
Enough of the world that they see around them.
that they see around them.
Right.
So you want to start digging, and
That's so funny.
And I haven't put the Earth there. There's a flag that goes up in the programmer, and they say, "Up, need more Earth." So they
Right.
put Earth beneath you while you can keep digging.
It's like the Truman Show.
Yeah, well, for example.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
Or does Minecraft, you can build
Or
stuff.
Minecraft.
Right.
Oh, that is Minecraft.
Right. Okay.
God, that guy's a brilliant genius. Okay.
So and we went to the moon. It's okay. Let's make sure
Right.
the moon is there.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, Dill.
Maybe that's why we can't travel faster than the speed of light. Because
see you.
if we could, we'd be able to get to another galaxy
Before they could program it.
that galaxy.
In 1970, a British mathematician named John Conway created a project known as the Game of Life. Even though it's a game, it isn't one that you necessarily play. The Game of Life is a zero-player game, which doesn't make much sense when you hear it.
I like this voice.
The way it
I don't
works
know.
is you put in a set of initial
I think it's
conditions
super
and
cool that
then
you put this voice in like
observe.
a...
That's it. Once you put the initial conditions in, the game runs itself.
I think it sounds like an Italian guy.
The simulation follows.
Yeah.
It runs on almost nothing. Some
Sarah
patterns
Chapman
only
says
run
it
for
sounds
a few
like
generations before they die out, while others seemingly
What's
go on
E40?
forever. And this got me thinking. If a simulation as small as this, with a very little variables, can result in something huge, what if we scale this up to, say, the size of a universe? A simulation that's more than just dots on a screen, but a simulation with galaxies, planets, and life. More importantly, if that is possible, how do we know that we aren't living in one of those simulations right now? When we look out into the universe, we don't see any other signs of life. Are we really alone? Are we just a glitch in the simulation, or are we just not looking hard enough? Take the creatures that exist at the bottom of our oceans. Are they aware that we humans even exist? Are they aware of anything outside of their immediate vicinity? Do they know that they're living on a big rock floating around a hot ball of gas, orbiting some big black hole of death in the center of the galaxy that sucks anything and
I don't
everything
know
in?
if Cyborg's in here, but she was saying when we were premiering this video,
What if we're just
she's
like
like,
those
do
creatures?
crabs know
The
us?
furthest that we
That's
can
what she was
observe or
talking
are aware
about.
of is what we call the observable universe.
I'm sorry,
So is
Cyborg. I didn't
reality
catch
an
that on
illusion?
Monday when you said do
The answer,
crabs
it
know
seems,
us.
is
You were
not a
talking about
simple
that
yes
part
or
right there.
no. Science, with its ever-evolving understanding of the universe, provides us with tantalizing clues, but no definitive answers.
Well, we're like not
The
even a
theories
year
we
away
have
from having that
explored,
right
from
there.
the neuroscience of perception to
That's
the
stuff right in front of us.
mind-bending world of quantum mechanics and the simulation
You can like
hypothesis,
control with your
challenge our
hands 3D in
assumptions
front of
and
you.
push the
Some people
boundaries
already
of our
have it though.
imagination.
Yeah.
Perhaps the true lesson lies not in
Yeah, the Apple
unmasking the
headset
illusion,
thing.
but in embracing the mystery. The universe, as Strange the Clown reminds us with a wink and a smile, is a vast and wondrous place full of surprises and wonders yet to be discovered. Our journey of exploration, both scientific and philosophical, has only just begun. As we continue to probe the depths of reality, we must remain open to new possibilities, willing to question our assumptions
Yeah, look at that.
and embrace the unknown.
Look at her like
For it
eyes
is in the
that she's
pursuit of
wearing.
understanding that we truly begin to appreciate the beauty,
Right, it's
complexity,
magnets.
and ultimately the
How do
elusive
magnets
nature
work?
of life.
I don't know how magnets work.
That's a wrap for our deep dive into the simulation theory. Before you start to question the fabric of our reality, we've got some exciting stuff to talk about. First, let's get these views up, guys. Let's get this video to 1,000 views in the first 24 hours.
Yeah, we didn't even. I don't think we. Maybe now we've got it to 1,000 views.
Yeah, we got it to 1,000 views. Yay!
Nice job, guys.
Yay! You got it to 1,000. I muted it for you.
It does get to 1K views.
Oops.
We can play
Sorry, I
some
didn't know that.
crime and horror movie trivia on Thursdays live.
Thank you guys, by the way, for getting us to 1,000 views. Honestly, that was a big deal. We used to get 1,000 views over like 24 hours. Our shares were down for a while. I'm not sure if you guys just like were busy and you didn't push the share button, but pushing the share button and the like button helps us out more than you would ever imagine and helps us get out into the algorithm where you are. So like say Cyborg, if she's hitting the like button out in California, she's putting us out in California in her algorithm in a positive way. I know that Dillhole is it Tennessee? No? Mississippi. That's right, Mississippi. Sorry about that, Dillhole. Mississippi. So he pushes the like button there, or he plays a playlist when he goes to sleep or when he goes to work or whatever, and it's putting us up in the algorithm wherever you are. So if you share our video or push the like button or tell a friend of yours, maybe check us out, that would help a lot. And when you do look at our videos, whether you share them or not, we would love for you to make sure you're telling us in the comment section what you think of the video itself. And if you had any content suggestions or any questions at all about things that you'd like us to research about the case. Like, for instance, if you're that I really like that video, but why didn't you talk about this? That's totally fine to comment on our video. And if we knew that there was things that we didn't research and look into that you wanted us to, we'd be more than happy to. Right, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob says, yeah, over there without a microphone.
On Hurstfest. And if we're lucky, guys,
I'm gonna mute.
Much anticipated episode of Carnageville Lane. Catch you Thursday, Red Rum Crew, and let's get this video to 1K views.
So now, continue what you're saying.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then, all right? You said what the government?
There he is.
The government.
Violent J.
I don't have that much confidence that the government can keep a secret. It's one of the most incompetent.
Just look at them, the two of them together, you guys. Isn't that a crazy mix?
They would,
think about why is it? I've seen videos with weird things, which is what I'm remembering.
Usually two.
Oh,
okay.
All right, sorry.
Soda, and I got a ninth grade education.
Okay.
He's like, I got a ninth grade education.
I'm gonna get some more of you.
I see fucking peas in
I like knowing what's out there. I like knowing all the sources.
Look at that. Look at all you guys. You guys are paid members. These people are paid members to support our channel. That's cool. I don't know what that song is, but Bob always finds weird stuff to put on the ends of our videos. So I don't know. If you guys make it to the end of the videos and you're a paid member, you'll see that you do and have always had your names at the end credits, because we do appreciate everybody who supports the channel, whether it's from like just giving us a share or a like or sharing your insights so you can keep the conversation going about a video that we've posted. I mean, I know like there was some like hubbub about like the concept of people being able to like come up on panel or people being able to comment. I just wanted to like reiterate that sometimes if you try to comment on our stuff and you put a link, YouTube is just gonna like yank your comment right out. We're not even gonna see it. Like, so if you're trying to post a link or if you want, you know, to show us something, you're more than likely probably going to be more successful if you just email that stuff to us. And our email is strangely suspicious. I think there's a banner, Bob. Bob can put it up on the screen, but our email is strangelysuspicious@gmail.com. And if you want to suggest something for us to look at or look into, it's okay to email it. Seriously, you can go ahead. But if you do try to do it in the comment section, it's not going to happen. And it's not under anything that we're controlling. And there are certain words and combinations of words that they will yank. And when we're not doing that, guys, we're not blocking people and we're not preventing people from being able to say whatever it is that they want to say on our comments. So if you are having problems with that, you can let us know. But sometimes I do forget to check. There is a section on the creator side of YouTube where you can look at there's like comments that are held for review. And sometimes I don't get to those right away. Sometimes it takes me a day or two. So if you notice something is not posted that, you know, you're wondering why it's not up there, just give it a few days or just give me an email and I'll check under the hidden comments. Absolutely. Because I don't want you guys to feel like you're silenced or you're not able to talk. This is like a respectful community and I like to keep it that way. I like you guys to feel like you can say whatever it is that you need to say when you're here. I hope that's clear and I hope you guys are feeling that way.
What do you think?
Yeah. So I just, I did notice that there is no interest today for anybody to go on panel. So I hope I'm not overlooking that. I'm going to give you just one more chance to say if you want to go on panel for any reason. If you know anybody who wants to come on our panel or somebody who wants to debate us from another channel or just somebody who doesn't have a channel, they're welcome to come on our show. Just make sure and email us and let us know it's going to happen ahead of time so we're not blindsided, and make sure that you guys keep it respectful. We totally welcome it though. And on Monday, there will be a video premiere at 4:20 p.m. Eastern time, guys. And I hope you will join us. And Thursday, we will have the trivia. All that information can be found on our community posts. Please remember to go to the community posts and please remember to comment on that and keep in contact with everybody on the community posts. We do post there daily. And I hope to see you on Monday at 4:20. Thanks for being here, guys.